Welcome to Odyssey of the Dragonlord DM Prep. I'm your DM, Ian. I'll be DMing for the Odyssey Prep. Yeah. So I want to start this one off by making some homebrew. Let's see, my homebrew collection. I'm already here. How do I create? I'm gonna have to zoom out. Yeah, that's. How do I create? My creations? No. Here we go. Create a subclass. So I have already homebrewed quite a number of things for my players for this. I need chat up somewhere. Let's pop chat out. And I'll put that over here so I can see it. I'm not going to have chat on the screen for once, but I'll have it. I will be seeing it. I can actually reply for once. Welcome. So I've already homebrewed a number of things for my players for the Odyssey of the Dragonlords campaign. Namely, I've already created the Centaur, Medusa, Minotaur, Nymph, and Satyr races, as well as the Prophecy Domain and the Circle of Sacrifice for Druid. Not have necessarily class features of the correct required levels. I think you're lying to me. I have 2, 6, 10, and 14, unless that's not when Druids get their subclass features. Honestly, I'm not too worried about it. Class feature, yeah, it's up here. Okay. Circle 2, circle feature 6, circle feature 4, 10, 14. Yeah, so I don't know what they're talking about. 2nd level, 6th level, 10th level, 14th level. I might have not actually put the level requirement in, and it just has the text here. Not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new subclass for warlock, and we're going to use the fiend as a template. I don't know if the fiend is the best, but it's the one we're going to use. So whatever. I'm actually just going to move this. Ooh, let's close this. Move this over here. I'm sure this looks absolutely hilarious for you guys. Let's move this over here. So I'm moving this essentially off screen where you guys can't see it, but I still can because I have multiple monitors. And then I can still see what my stream preview looks like as well. Okay, so hi, welcome. And let's get started. Users in chat. Okay, here we go. So we're making a warlock patron called the Fates. And I'm not building a subclass. I'm not trying to come up with a subclass. I'm just building a subclass that already exists in Odyssey of the Dragonlords. So I'm using the Fates warlock. We're gonna see how these features work out. So first thing you gotta do is you gotta get a description in. Bam. Short description, same as the description because I really don't care. Let's save these changes just so that the subclass gets created. So we've got the subclass, it's called the Fates. You can tell that it's saved because it actually updated up here. If you're missing any of the required fields, it'll just not save literally anything, which is obnoxious. Just to make things easier, I'm going to remove all of these spells. I don't know if any are shared between subclasses, but not super worried about it. Levitate, see invisibility, clairvoyance, call lightning, arcane eye, divination, planar binding, and gesh. Yes, it's pronounced gesh. I hope these are big enough for you to see. I can't actually. So if I make this any bigger, it switches to mobile view, which is just absolutely atrocious. And then if I try to make one bigger, the other one gets smaller. I think I'll do that anyway. So I'm going to make this one bigger. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay, and it's still not in mobile view. Cool. So this is a little bit bigger. Hopefully you can read it. And then I literally have this PDF at 200%. I have both of them scaled up to 200%. So hopefully they're legible. I'm working on a 4K monitor. And then it's getting downscaled to 720p. So that sucks. So let's save this. I really hope I have audio. Yeah, I have audio. But we changing one of the second levels for augury. I think, okay, so I think what we had agreed to do that for the prophecy cleric. But no, you're not going to get second levels of spells as a prophecy cleric. So levitate's basically a ribbon. I don't like levitate, I think it sucks. So sure, we'll swap levitate for augury. Done. So yeah, done. All right, so now what you need to do is you need to create class features. So the big one for warlocks, or there's two first level features. There's the expanded spell list and then the unique feature. Interestingly, this doesn't actually do anything, and you can tell that by the fact that nothing exists down here. If you expand all of these, there's nothing in here, and the reason for that is because they were already in that that list earlier. So the fates lets you let you choose from an expanded list of spells. When you learn a warlock spell, the following spells are added to the warlock spell list for you. So now I just get to go in here and edit this table. So detect magic, identify, augury because we're replacing levitate because levitate's useless and augury is really good. See invisibility. Clairvoyance, call lightning. So you can actually create a subclass from scratch. I thoroughly recommend against that. The main reason being I wouldn't have had this table if I had started from scratch, and I wouldn't have a list of class features that I can just edit instead of having to create new ones. So cancel. So we fixed expanded spell lists. So now we're going to edit Dark One's Blessing to become Fate's Bidding. So Fate's Bidding. So starting at first level, you're expected to consult the Fates. So this is this is kind of what I've come to call a non-feature. So what this does is each morning you can cast a divination spell without expending a spell slot immediately after completing a short or long rest. Because it requires a rest already, it doesn't make, like, you have to do it immediately at the end of the long rest. It doesn't make sense to have a checkbox for it because it doesn't matter whether or not you've used it as you're going along between rests, because you can't do it. You can only do it immediately after the rest. So I literally don't need to add anything to their sheet except for this feature. You can cast a divination spell immediately after a rest, and if you do so, you gain, is it modifier charisma? Oh, it's just warlock level. So you don't add your so it's literally just class level. It's just class level. Class level, temp HP. Done. You gain temporary hit points equal to your warlock level, minimum 1. Yeah, class level can't be lower than 1. So the reason they have this verbiage is the same reason they had, like, if in here. So if you do charisma modifier plus class level, that could be a negative number, or it could be 0 if you have negative charisma. So then what they do is they do this at min 1. And then unsigned, I don't know why they do unsigned. That seems a little weird to me. That seems unnecessary. So they do at min 1 so that it can't be less than 1. But we don't really need any of that. We just do class level. So you can cast a divination spell immediately after a rest without expending a spell slot. And if you do so, you gain class level temp HP. Done. You must choose a spell that you could normally cast, and you must have the necessary material components. That is spelled out here. It doesn't need to be spelled out in the snippet. So the snippet is what shows up on your character sheet, just looking at all of your class features, and then the description is what pops up if you actually click on that feature. So required class level 1, display order 2, save changes, and then I don't know. Yeah, so this has actions, Dark One's Blessing, general. Interesting. So it shows up in actions, which doesn't make any. Doesn't have activation type special. Okay, I don't need this. Like, I don't need this here, so I'm just going to delete it. Delete, confirm. We're going to save changes, and we're done with Fate's Bidding. That's our level 1 feature done. So I could just stop here if I wanted, because I'm not going to need, you know, the level 6 feature until we're level 7, because Orsino is multiclassing. But, you know, in for penny, in for pound, so let's just do it while we're here. So, so let's look Fates for telling. All right, so we're going to grab the text of the feature. And you might be asking, am I the first person to want to do this? Am I the first person to put this into D&D Beyond? Probably not. There probably are other people who put this exact subclass into D&D Beyond. But here's the thing, I don't trust them, number one, and I can make changes as I need to if I own the homebrew. Yeah, so I'm doing it myself. Some of my players tried to use the already existing homebrew races, and the Centaur in particular had a hilarious snippet for the size. So let's show side pane. So if we go to the Centaur traits, I click names. Okay. So size. Centaurs range from 6'6" to 7 feet in height and weigh between 700 and 900 pounds. Your size is medium, but you tower over most other races, is what the text of the feature says. And what they put in their homebrew was, you big, but not that big. So obviously I didn't want to make use of that particular homebrew. And I gotta find my... There. No, that's sorcerer. Here we go, warlock. Okay. So, what does this feature do? Starting at 6th level, you can call on the fates to foretell future events. When you finish a short or long rest, roll 1d20 and record the number you rolled. You can replace any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check made by you or a creature you can see with this roll. You must choose to do so before the roll. This foretelling roll can be used only once. When you finish a short or long rest, you lose any unused foretelling rolls. So, what do we want to put in the sheet? Also, making it int-based at this stage is easier. It is not possible to make an intelligence warlock in D&D Beyond. It's not possible, unfortunately. I can't make a subclass that cares, if any of your subclass features care about charisma, I can build them in such a way that they care about your intelligence instead. But class features, actual warlock class features, I can't modify in any way. I can't do anything about those. And you can't homebrew a class on D&D Beyond. So if you try to create a homebrew, class is not an option. You can only make subclasses. So unfortunately, your D&D Beyond character sheet's going to be fucky because int. I agree, that is dumb, but they have no plans of changing it either, which sucks. So the question is, what do we want a player to be able to put on their sheet for this feature? And I think, I could be wrong, I think what we essentially want to do is we want to model it like a charges system. So we model it as if it had 20 charges, but it doesn't actually have 20 charges. It just has one charge. You know, you roll your die. But because it has up to 20 charges, you can just pick any number. So after a short rest, you just set the number of charges in the feature equal to whatever you rolled, and that way it's in your sheet. After a rest, roll 1d20 and record it. You can replace any attack roll, saving throw, or ability check made by a creature you can see with this roll once. All right, so that's going to be our snippet. So save changes, and then actions. Let's see what we got in here. So we got Dark Ones on left. We're going to call that Fates for telling, and then So one thing that we want to do is we want to grab these descriptions. We're going to put them in the action. So we're just going to general fates foretelling. Put the description in. Grab the snippet. Put the snippet in. And then that'll actually. So we're going to call this no action. Activation time none. Reset type short rest. And what that'll do is on a short rest. Actually, I don't want to reset. I'm just gonna do none, and then once we create this, so the score type level, attack range dice count dice type fixed value, displays attack no effect. Okay, so save all this, save this. And now that I've saved it, what I can do is I can go back in. Actually, here, let's open that and open that. So this is Dark One's Own Luck, and I'm just going to compare it to Fate's Foretelling. Okay, so this has activation type special, activation time, and then it has a reset type. I don't want it to reset. Because if I set it to reset, it'll go back to 20 every time you rest, and I don't actually want that to happen. So, actually, wait, how did you get limited list? Limited. Okay, so limited use limited use requires reset type. So we're gonna do other, and what that'll do is hitting rest on your character sheet won't cause it to go away, but because I have a reset type. It adds the limited use section down here. So I'm going to set this to number of uses 20. So what that'll look like is on your character sheet, it'll look like you can use it 20 times, but my idea is that you would just use that to keep track. So we're going to open up our test Orsino because I created a character to test the prophecy domain. So we're going to drop the cleric class down to 2 just because we're going to get rid of druid, don't need that. And then we're going to add another class. Well, first we have to bump our charisma so we qualify for warlock. And then we're going to add a class, and we're going to add warlock. And then we're going to bump warlock to, actually we don't need to. Yeah, well, we need to bump it to 6 so that we can see the feature that we're working on, which is a level 6 feature. So we can save this. We're done there, and let's refresh this. Dark One's Own Luck, we can delete this now. We're done with that. Okay, so we've got this level 6 feature. We're going to set ourselves to Warlock 6, pick our otherworldly patron as the Fates, so that we can take a look at the character sheet, and then once we go in here, we should have, in our class features, so if we look at our class features, we have Fate's Foretelling. So it looks like 20 charges, but let's say you roll an 8. So you just hit, okay, it's an 8. And then once you've used it, you just drop it to 0. And this is kind of instructions for Tim as building a character for him. But this is essentially just a way to keep track. So 0 means I've already used it, and then literally any number means that's the number that you had rolled. So nice and easy. So cool, we're on our way. We got a level 6 feature in. So we're going to get out of this level 6 feature, and we're going to move on to our level 10 feature, which is Fate's Demands. Fate's Demands. So we're going to grab the description. Okay, so the description does actually stick to one page, so we're going to put this here. Okay, starting at 10th level, the weight of your servitude grows heavy, and the burden only lessens when you help another creature meet its fate. Each time you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, you regain 1 expended spell slot. You may use this feature twice, and you regain any expended uses when you finish a long rest. That is a really cool feature, especially for a warlock. Twice per day, when you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, you regain 1 expended spell slot. So that's a snippet. So the snippets are always really, they're very short and not entirely rules language explanations of what your class features do. So it should say, you know, the actual features. Each time you reduce a creature to 0 points, you regain 1 expended spell slot. You may use this feature twice, and you regain any expended uses when you finish a long rest. That's the appropriate rules text. But that's not how humans understand things generally. So twice per day, when you reduce a creature to 0 points, you regain 1 expended spell slot. Cool. Interestingly, this says you regain, not you may regain. So this isn't a feature that you actually get to choose. It's just this happens. So since we know it can only happen twice per long, then we're going to want an action in here. So we're going to edit this. We're going to call this Fate's Demands. None of this is really important. Activation type is no action. Doesn't, you know. And the reset type is long rest. So I'm going to hit save, and then I'm also going to hit cancel so that I can get back to here. And then I want to copy the snippet into, oops. I want to go into this action again. And then add the snippet and add the description. Save, and then I have to go back into the feature because it's dumb. Sometimes hitting save keeps you on the same page. Sometimes hitting save takes you to the higher level. But we are going to create a limited use, so you get 2 uses. You just get 2 uses of this feature. And then that resets automatically on a long rest. So when you're adding limited use, when you save, it creates it, and then it stays on the page so you can create more. That was really useful with another subclass because I had to make a different limited use for each level because you have a number of uses equal to your level, and that there's no way to code that in dynamically. It's just at level 2 you have 2, at level 3 you have 3, at level 4 you have 4, at level 5 you have 5, at level 6 you have 6. So the fact that it stayed on the same page made it very easy to do that. So now we have this feature twice per day, and it's that simple. So if we take our test character and we take his warlock level up to 10, he'll gain that feature. And then features and traits. And we see Fiendish Resilience is... I don't know why it says Fiendish Resilience. I renamed the feature already. Fate's Demands is the name of the feature. Oh, save changes. Save changes. Hit cancel. Fate's Demands. Let's refresh. So this is the other problem with D&D Beyond. Sometimes it takes forever for something to update on your character sheet. So this says Fiendish Resilience, but Fiendish Resilience does not appear anywhere in here. It's just Fate's Demands, Fate's Demands. The action is called Fate's Demands, but it's just taking a while to update. So it says Fiendish Resilience, and it's got the same description as before, but I'm fairly certain that it will shortly update. Probably. But that said, we did get the action in properly. Starting at level 10, the Weight of Your Servitude grows heavy, and it is indeed twice per long rest. So if I fill both of those bubbles and I hit long rest, they go back to 0. But this did not change. So short rest, take short rest. This isn't changing because I set it to other reset type. So the reason for that is I didn't want try de-leveling and relabeling it. Yeah, I mean, level 5, confirm, level 10, and then class features, Fiendish Resilience still. Level 5, let's put them down to level 6. And then what we're gonna do, oops, didn't want, whatever. Let's open so I can empty cache and hard reload. So I just want to empty my cache, hard reload, and then we're gonna do level 10, class features. Still says Fiendish Resilience. So D&D Beyond's really weird. It will probably update in the next half hour to an hour. Nothing I can really do about it. It's just that's just how D&D Beyond works. It's weird. So let's move along. Let's put in our level 14 feature, which is called Inescapable Fate. So Inescapable Fate. So we're gonna grab our description, paste it in. So the reason I have to hit all these keys really, really fast is there are manual line breaks in this PDF, so I have to remove all line breaks so that D&D Beyond can put its own line breaks, or, you know, wrap. Kind of like our real-time hit points. Yeah, pretty much. D&D Beyond is just a little slow to update, like overlays and homebrew classes and whatnot. So what does this feature do? Starting at 14th level, you learn to accelerate the entropic power of fate. Flavor text. Cool. Don't need that. You can use an action to force a creature you can see to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay, so I already know that I'm going to have to go in and add an action. If the creature is unaware of your presence, then it has disadvantage on the roll. Cool. If the creature fails the saving throw, choose another creature that you can see. The first creature is compelled by fate to move towards the second creature for a minute. At the beginning of each of the first creature's turns, if it is not located within 5 feet of the second creature, then the first creature takes 2d10 psychic damage, and it must use its full movement to move closer to the second creature, dashing if necessary, even if it cannot reach them. This effect ends if you or either of the creatures are reduced to 0 hit points or knocked unconscious. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. No, that is not sweet tea. It is about as far from sweet tea as you can get while still being sweet tea. It is barely sweetened tea. So I wanted to make some homemade iced tea. Yeah, it's barely sweetened sweet tea. It's barely sweetened iced tea. I wanted to make some homemade iced tea because I love homemade iced tea. But I wanted Steph to be able to drink it, so I put very little sugar in it. I put half a cup of sugar in a gallon of iced tea. So first we need to create a snippet. So as an action, you can force a creature to make a wisdom saving throw. Save DC. So here's essentially the only time that int is going to matter. Also, D&D Beyond guide. Is this it? Damn it. D&D Beyond guide to homebrew. Homebrew tutorials? No. Everything you need to know about homebrew. No. Okay. There's a list of tags, and I want to say it's save DC int, but I just want to make sure. Okay, let's search. Crap. Everything you need to know about. No, it's one. Is there an in-depth guide? Sticky post on the homebrew forum? No. No. Come on. Using snippet codes. Here we go. Here we go. So, yep, save DC. And then I'm going to do int because I know that Tim is going to want to do an int warlock. So, what is this? Oh, fates demands. I don't need that anymore. So yeah, save DC int. If at the beginning of the target creature's turn it is not within 5 feet of the second creature, it takes 2d10 psychic damage. I don't need, and it must use its full movement to move closer, even dashing if necessary, even if it can't reach them. I don't need all of this info. This is just a snippet. This is just a base explanation of what the class feature does. So save that, and then I'm guessing there's already an action here. Yep. So hurl through hell. We're gonna just grab that and edit it. So we're gonna call it inescapable fate. So the activation type is an action. We already know that. The reset type, there is none. Actually, before we, I'm going to delete this this limited use because this is. Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. I was wrong. Inescapable fate. Activation type is an action. Reset type is a long rest because it is Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish the long rest. So it's once per day. So ability score type doesn't matter. Level doesn't matter. Save type is wisdom. Fixed save DC, no. Die type, okay, so does 2d10 damage. Effect on save success, nothing. Effect on save fail. Compelled to move towards another creature that you can see. And takes 2d10 psychic damage at the start of each turn, if not within 5 feet of the second creature. Damage type is psychic. Display as attack. Sure, why not? It is not affected by martial arts. The range is sight. Area of effect type, there's no area of effect. Action, long rest. And then I need to get the snippet and description from the feature itself. So hit save. Oh, sight is not a valid number. Cool. How about infinity? Is infinity a valid number? It is not. I'm just gonna leave it blank. I'm not gonna be extra like that. Okay, so so I need the snippet. So we're gonna go back into the action. We're gonna add the snippet, and then we're also going to add the description. So you might notice that there's no description here, and I don't actually know if this description needs to be here, but better to have it and not need it. So now I just need to add limited use. You have one use, save, done. So you can use it once, it resets in a long rest. I'm not going to be extra like that. I am extra in a lot of other ways. I don't need to be extra like that. So we're basically done here. Subclasses are actually hilariously easy to build, mostly because a lot of subclasses just say, this is a thing you can do. And then there's no limit or anything, so it doesn't actually need to interact with your sheet in any way. It's just, here's some stuff that I wrote on your sheet. And you know, your DM can deal with how that affects his creatures. Or the other players can deal with how it affects, you know, their characters. So we've got all the class features in. So what we're going to do is we're going to level him. So first we're going to hard refresh, just to make sure that we got the thing. It's probably going to show us the wrong name for the feature, because it's dumb like that. But let's see, class features. See, it still says hurl through hell. But if we go to our sheet, it should say hurl through hell, and then under it it'll say inescapable fate. So if we go to features and traits, class features, scroll all the way down to the bottom. So it says hurl through hell, but then it says inescapable fate, one action. And then if I click on it, it gives me the description. So attack, save, whiz 14. So that 14 is coming from your, what the hell's proficiency bonus? Plus 5, so it's 8 plus 5 proficiency, plus int charisma. Like I put save DC in. So let's bump my int and see what happens. I think it might be doing int minimum 1, but we'll do 15. And then let's go back to class and then add an ASI for ability score improvement, ASI, int. So I have 16 int now, so that should have gone up to 16. So inescapable fate still says DC 14. So that's interesting. So that's using his charisma for whatever reason, even though I told it to use, int. Oh, no. Okay, so we're learning things together. So I put save DC int here, but this snippet isn't showing up because hurl through hell is showing up instead because it's dumb. And then I don't get to see the snippet down here. But when I click on it, I get this description, but that doesn't have the thing. So what I need to do is I need to go in and then go into the action. Oop, don't add action. Don't want to add an action. Just want to modify the one we have. So we're going to edit this. And then so we're going to do ability score type int. And that should do it. As to whether or not the character sheet will actually update, that remains to be seen. So let's go back to the fates, and then we'll do a big ol' reload. And then that DC should increase to 16. It didn't. That's cool. It will. It's just very slow to update. I promise. But that's it. That's it for creating subclass. I did that in half an hour. Well, I've been streaming for 40 minutes. So I did that in 40 minutes. Or no, I had a starting soon. So yeah, I did it in a little over half an hour. Spellcasting ability, charisma. Ooh, spellcasting ability, int. Does that work? Is that a thing I can do? I don't know. I'm just gonna switch that to int, and maybe that'll do something. I highly doubt it, but you know, maybe. You know, I've looked into creating an int warlock before, and it's been so long I don't remember what came of it. So Fate's Foretelling, you just put in the number, and you actually have to hit plus or minus, annoyingly. So if you roll a 20, so let's say you use it, so you put it to 0, and then you roll a 20, and you literally have to click this 20 times and hit confirm. And then you use that, so you want to set it back to 0, so you have to click it 20 times and hit confirm. And it's just way better if you roll a 1 and you hit confirm, and then you can use that for an enemy saving throw and force them to eat a terrible, horrible. You could force them to eat inescapable fate. So you know, make a wisdom saving throw. It's a 1. You have to run around and die. So that's a subclass, homebrewed in D&D Beyond. Could I not change that to a temp HP counter so you can edit the number? So the way D&D Beyond works, as soon as you hit 10, actually wait, what do you mean a temp HP counter? You can kind of like this, where you can just like put a number in. Like you can just type 10, something like that. Is that what you're talking about? Because if that's what you're talking about, you can't do that. So D&D Beyond only has one limited use control, and if it's less than 10, it gives you checkboxes, and if it's more than 10, it gives you one of these. That's it. That's all you get. But you know what? I'm going to take a look anyway. I'm like 99% sure that's the case, but... Creature that the class feature migrating? Wait, I had a creature. Huh? Create a rule. I don't know what the hell this is. Wildfire Druid has an HP counter for its fire spirit. Well, let's take a look at that. So, create subclass. Druid. I don't have Wildfire. Lay on Hands does work like this one too, yeah. And that gave Steph untold frustration because it was a pain in the ass. She's like, I want to use 40 Lay on Hands. I just had to repetitively click it. Also, I made this room very, very cold in the hopes that I could turn the air conditioner off for the whole time I was streaming. Clearly that didn't work. So air conditioner's gone back on, and I hope it's not too loud. So that's a subclass. So at this point, Tim and anyone else who's in the Odyssey of the Dragonlords game, I'm going to ask you to leave. I'm going to... Oh, I don't have a Be Right Back scene. I'm going to make one real quick. Make sure I have a file that I can put there. Odyssey, streaming assets. I do have a BRB. So I'm gonna be right back, and then we'll continue into prepping Odyssey of the Dragonlords. So And we're back. Okay, so we're going to start prepping Odyssey. So first thing I'm going to do, I don't need a web browser anymore. That's not true. I'm going to kind of need Roll20. We're also going to open Sublime Text, which is my text editor of choice. Close this. Sure, save. Open folder, Odyssey. I don't have a notes folder yet, so let's make a notes folder. And then open the notes folder. Okay. So that's going to take up the left half of the screen, except half is going to be, oops, don't need you, I need you. Okay, so your left half, your right half, and then, left half. And then I can stretch. Okay, so big words for stream to see. So I can get about 30 characters. That might be a little too little. So we're gonna shrink Roll20 down to. Well, first I'm gonna make this a little bigger. Okay, why not? All right, I do want to be able to get a little bit more than 30 characters on a line. Just getting things rearranged. And then we're going to do 300% zoom. Alright, cool. Now we're going to open the side pane, because that is very useful to me. And then we're going to zoom fit width. Alright, so 230%. Hopefully this is big enough for you to see. Roll20 probably isn't going to be super big, but I will zoom in. But we do have big words for stream to see. Hopefully it's readable. Thanks for sticking around, those of you who did. So, Odyssey the Dragonlords. What in the fuck are we doing? So, oh, this is the player's guide. I don't want the player's guide. I want the actual book. Odyssey. We're going to be pretty friendly, even though I don't think that makes a difference. Okay. Alright. So, so the first thing we need to do is figure out where the heroes are, where the players are. So it starts with, you've been called to this tavern, because duh, like that's how D&D games start. So you've been called to the tavern by Kyra the poet, sent by Verse of the Oracle, using the identity of a poet, one of some skill and renown. She has the same name as a god, and we'll see that that is not accidental. So the big thing is that each of the players has an epic path, and these epic paths, I want to do fit width, is a little bit bigger. The epic paths essentially dictate the players. Locked. I'll open it by yourself on a different system. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna ignore the lock. Alright, so we're gonna grab these and make them bigger. Oh Jesus, not that bigger. There we go. Okay, so so I made this document as we were doing our session 0. So we have a bunch of character ideas that got thrown by the wayside. So Jesse was kind of planning on Medusa Rogue. He landed on Medusa Monk. Chris was eyeballing a Nymph Rogue with the Haunted One. He landed on a Warforged, not a Rogue. He is in fact a Bard. Tim is not a Cleric Prophecy. He is a Cleric Prophecy / Warlock Fates. Steph's a Druid. Sacrifice. Jesse is probably going Shadow. I think Chris was looking at Glamour, and Artificer is going to be Armor. So these are the characters that we have. So Steph is playing a Satyr Druid of the Sacrifice, whose epic path is the Doomed One. Jesse is playing a Medusa Monk, whose epic path is the Cursed One. His Cursed One is Medusa. Chris is playing a Warforged Bard, whose epic path is the Gifted One. I think. Is he the Gifted One? Is he the Gifted One? I think he's the Gifted One. Yeah, he's the Gifted One. Right? Yes, he's a gifted one. Amber is playing an Oread Nymph Life Cleric, whose path is the Dragon Slayer. Tim's a Minotaur Cleric / Warlock, who is the Vanished one. And Luke is a Centaur Artificer, who is the Demigod. What does this mean for each of the characters? So, as we were creating characters, I wanted to look at the epic paths that are presented in the book, and then the epic path, like, as it presents it to the players, and then also as it presents it to the DM, because early in the book, it explains how to run the epic paths, how to run each epic path, running the adventure, preparing the adventure, epic paths. Running the epic paths, there we go. So running the epic paths says you shouldn't share them. Cool, perfect. If they wish to share an epic path, have them siblings or otherwise closely related. We didn't end up with any of that. I did tell them that was an option, but so Demigod's first here, so let's start with Luke. So he is the son of Pythor, the god of battle. So 5-minute history of the world. Titans ruled the world. Titans, which are a type of god, ruled the world until the settler races arrived, the humans, the elves, the dwarves, and the settler races still didn't do a whole lot, and they started worshipping the... Also, I just realized that this is so tiny no one can see it. View, zoom, 200%. And then we'll make these columns smaller. I'm not going to bother with the items. There we go. Yeah, I just realized that this is tiny and no one can read it. Hopefully that's good enough. Hi, Angry Apothecary. How's it going? So we're gonna. So yeah, 5-minute history. Titans ruled the continent of Thylea. Settler races arrived: the humans, the elves, the dwarves, the halflings, the dragonborn, the tieflings, all that nonsense. And then the Titans continued to rule the world until the Dragonlords arrived, which were settler races who rode dragons. And using those dragons, they managed to defeat the armies of the Titans. And then the Titans themselves took the field and destroyed the Dragonlords. But then, when all hope was lost, the 5 gods appeared and finished the Titans and forged the Oath of Peace, which is a 500-year, essentially ceasefire, preventing the Titans from murdering the settler races for 500 years, as long as the settler races and the monstrous races continued to worship the Titans. So it remained for 499 years, and then the game starts. So the player characters are the chosen heroes. They're referred to as the chosen heroes all throughout the module, and essentially they are going to reforge or otherwise continue, cause to continue the Oath of Peace, so that this era of peace can continue into the future. So that's where we're at. So, you know, they're the chosen heroes. So the question is, how in the fuck do we get chosen ones to go to a place? Well, obviously with a prophecy. So what does that prophecy do? So if we look at Chapter 1, it says, you're one of a group of warriors who have been summoned to the Heartlands in an attempt to avert this coming catastrophe. You each have reasons for answering the call, but rumors of your coming have already spread across the land. So, oh, rumors. That's a thing that I forgot to do. I need to tell my players. I was supposed to do that forever ago, because I'm supposed to just distribute rumors about each of the players to other players. So I need each of you to come up with 3 rumors about yourselves. PM them to me. Other players should not be able to see them. And then I'm going to... Rumors are coming... Spreading rumors. No. I gotta wait for it. Here we go. Before you begin. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so that was something I meant to do forever ago, but some of my players' characters weren't fully realized, and I wanted to give it to them. I wanted to give them that prompt once they gave me the character descriptions that I sent to our artist, Mr. Bayless. There should have been a plug. Oh no, I don't have Bayless on a timer. So if you want to know about the artist who does all the art for our character campaigns, I just added Bayless in chat, so you can check him out at mrbayless.com or twitch.tv/mrbayless. He's been streaming all week, him creating the character art for this upcoming stream, which is tomorrow. Fun fact, Odyssey of the Dragonlords, Episode 1, tomorrow. Did it do... It didn't do the thing. We've been streaming for an hour, and it didn't do that. Whatever. Figure it out. So anyway, so it says that you each have reasons for answering the call. Yeah, there you go. There's our Bayless emote. You each have reasons for answering the call. So the first thing I need to figure out right here, right now, is what are the reasons for answering the call? Reason to answer the call. I can get rid of big words for streams. Reason to answer the call. So we've got 6 characters. We have Alaris, Helios, Yasena, Remir, Scorpius. Hey, the real Bengal Tiger, staying with the Guild Troll. Thanks for the sub. 5-month streak. That's fantastic. Very few streaks here. Like, we have a lot of people who sub for several months, but most people lose their streak. So thanks for keeping up on that, Bengal Tiger. Yeah, the Discord plug came through, but the sub match timer didn't go through. It's supposed to post every 41 minutes. Anyway. So, we have 6 characters, Alaris, Helios, Yasena, Orsino, Remir, and Scorpius. And I noticed earlier today that all of them have 6-letter names except Scorpius. I also noticed that none of them have the same first initial, which is fan-fucking-tastic. Also, like, 3 of them have a last name. That's fine. I don't care about last names. So, why are they answering the call? So, Alaris, her epic path is the Dragon Slayer. So, the Dragon Slayer is interested in killing the dragon responsible for her tragedy. So her tragedy is that a dragon destroyed her temple to, I want to say Mitros, and then another god came in, Helios, in fact, to help them rebuild. Wants to find Hexia, the dragon who destroyed her temple. So we're gonna turn on word wrap. Helios. Helios is wants to figure out. So Helios's epic path is the doomed one. You had the misfortune of being born under a fell astrological sign. Heroic task to defeat the creature that has been fated to kill you. So wants to figure out how to stop being doomed. Yasena is the gifted one. To found a new order of Dragonlords. To do so, you must find the fortress of the Dragonlords. So I shouldn't be in here. I should actually be in running the epic paths. Here we go, Dragon Slayer. So what this does is, meeting the Oracle, Versi tells the Dragon Slayer that they're destined to become the bane of evil dragons. I must start. So you got the. Wait, no. Where's the? Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't here. I'm wrong. So that's Dragon Slayer. So I'm not looking at Heroic Task, I'm looking at Adventure Hook. So this is what it is. The Oracle knows that you're doomed. Oh, this is Doomed 1. So the Oracle knows how to find the dragon that was responsible for your tragedy. She wants to find Hexia, the dragon who destroyed her temple. Cool beans. It wasn't actually Hexia, as we'll find out. So if we look at here, we find that it is in fact Helios, the god she worships. And yes, the god she worships is a dragon. She has to kill it. I'm just a dick. So Helios, yes, we have, okay, so Alaris worships Helios, the god of the sun, and, yes, put your clothes back on, Andy. So Alaris worships Helios, god of the sun, and Helios the satyr is just named Helios. It should be a source of non-stop hilarity. But the Oracle knows that your doom reflects the doom of the world. If you save yourself, you will be able to save the world. So we can save the world. Can't be a heathen in a world that doesn't exist. So Yasenna is the gifted one. The Oracle promises that the prophecy will put you on the path to become a Dragonlord. Wants to become a Dragonlord. So Yasenna's thing is that, yeah, we'll by 1 p.m. EDT Sunday. Okay, cool. As long as you're wearing pants on stream, that's fine. So Yasenna wants to become a Dragonlord, and the Oracle can tell her how. So Yasenna's shtick is that she is a statue made in the image of one of the Dragonlords. In fact, the least well-renowned Dragonlord. This Dragonlord is actually very ill-regarded, in fact. Dragonlords were people who rode dragons. Let's get that straight. So Yasenna wants to become the Dragonlord she already thinks she is. And that's what the Oracle can supposedly do for her. So Orsino is the... Orsino's the vanished one. He's the vanished one. And his adventure hook is you're the Oracle's favorite pet. Oracle's favorite pet. Cool beans. So Orsino's shtick is that he actually is one of the Dragonlords. So, the Vanished One says, you are one of the Dragonlords, the legendary outside explorers who first discovered Thylea. You were present when the tiny settlement of Mitros was founded, but you've been missing for almost 500 years. During an expedition into the Cerulean Gulf, you fell victim to the irresistible charms of a nymph named Versi. You spent the last 5 centuries in a waking dream, trapped in her cave with no knowledge of time passing or events on the mainland. So we've modified that a little bit. He was, in fact, instead cursed by Sidon to become a bull, and then Versi found him in bull form, and just doted on this white bull for hundreds of years in her time dilation woo-ha-wow. And then recently, I want to say, I think he said like 6 or 7 years ago, you were turned back into your normal form, except that you still have some bull features. So you're a Minotaur. So his Minotaur name is Orsino, and the Dragonlord that he is based on is Adonis. So if we take a look at Appendix H, Dragonlords, we have a list of the original Dragonlords. So we have Adonis Nordagon, so the way the Vanished One is supposed to work in the book is that it's like, oh, here's the Ancient Order of Dragonlords, and then if you pick the Vanished One, you're supposed to be some 7th Dragonlord. Screw that. I like this better. So Yasenna Ventrak was the Oathsworn of Narcissus. Adonis was the Oathsworn of Pythor. So one of the really dumb things in this book is that they really lay on thick that let me see. Don't spoil the twist. The people of Thylea do not know the true nature of the 5 gods. Only the gods know it, and they are forbidden to talk about it by the Oath of Peace. The story finale includes a major twist where the 5 gods return to their true forms. So big Odyssey of the Dragonlord spoilers in about 30 seconds, actually probably closer to 10 seconds. If you don't want to be spoiled for, this huge twist, please leave at this very moment. I'll give you 5 seconds to leave. 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. The 5 gods are in fact the dragons that the Dragonlords rode into battle. They have been transformed into their human forms by the magic of the Oath of Peace, and they've been given godlike powers by having stolen them from Sidon and Lutheria the Titans. That's the spoiler. The book makes zero attempt to hide this fact because the dragons' names are Kyra, Narcissus, Mitros, Pythor, Vulcan, and Valis. Those are the actual dragons' names. And those also happen to be the names of the 5 gods. Yes, there's 6 of them. They're called the 5 gods, but there's 6. Actually, I lied. There wasn't a dragon named Mitros. There was a dragon named Balmetria. But the rest of the dragons didn't even change their name when they became human. only Balmetria changed her name to Mitros. So I think that's stupid. So throughout the game, anytime one of those dragons' names is supposed to come up, I have found, I don't know where I found it, I think it was somewhere on the Odyssey of the Dragonlords subreddit, which is called r Odyssey of the Dragon, Reddit character limit. So I have read that a lot of groups are figuring this out immediately just because of how similar Balmetria and Mitros are. They're like, I wonder if that dragon has anything to do with that god. And then they kind of just puzzle through it. So I've changed the name Balmetria ever so slightly to Balmithria. So the short Y sound gets rid of that meech. And then I just add the H to make it myth, Balmithria, Mitros. And then I've also found and slightly modified names for the other 5 as well. So Vulcan's dragon name is Sibyl Corax, Pythor's dragon name is Rasbitrion, Kyra's dragon name is Archiriania. I like that name. Valus's dragon name is Tissophale, and Narcissus' name is Aristanar. So absolutely, positively, you need different names, and then you also need to have different sounds. So I spelled out each of these names phonetically. I'm actually just going to copy paste them into chat so that you guys can take a look at them. So I wrote them out. Well, I hate how Twitch chat doesn't allow line breaks. So Balmithria. So if you look at the, me spelling it out phonetically, that's not like IPA phonetic alphabet or anything. But when I spelled it out phonetically, I made sure that there were no shared sounds between the dragon and the god name. Trying to make it a little bit harder to figure out than the Azuriel Zariel link that was in my Descent to Avernus. So yeah, just trying to make that a little bit harder. So since the only one of these names that actually comes up in the book is Balmetria, so if I search, I'll find Balmetria. They have to find the Horn of Balmetria. In fact, that's like the big things, like the Horn of Balmetria. So anytime the book says Balmetria, I just have to remember to instead say Balmithria. So we were working on hooks. So let's go back to the epic paths. So Remir is the demigod. So the demigod is a child of Pythor, the god of battle, also known as Rasbitrion, the dragon. But not right now. He can't be a dragon right now because of the Oath of Peace. So your adventure hook is you've been summoned by the Oracle due to your fame and divine heritage. Yes and no. Fame, divine heritage, also wants to murder the dragon that kidnapped his mom. So the dragon, Hexia, kidnapped Remir's mother because Remir's mother laid with Pythor and had a child via Pythor. I do not at this time know what Hexia's, the dragon Hexia's motivations are. We'll figure it out as we go along. And then Scorpius is the cursed one, so his adventure hook is the Oracle reveals that she knows who can end the curse. Wants to end his curse. So these are the player's reasons to answer the call. You'll notice that I named this episode. I like that, it's cool. You can actually see that. I called this episode Call to Adventure. So that's going to be the name of our first episode of Odyssey of the Dragonlords. It feels epic. It has that epic heroism kind of tone to it, and it's very Joseph Campbell. So that's what I'm naming the episode. So this is the reason for answering the call. This is literally all of the content that happens before we even begin to play the game. So let's get to the part where we play the game. So you've all been summoned here, and then where does it say? Rumors. Searching for rumors. Searching for rumors. Spreading rumors. Here we go. Page 32. Okay, so it was on the very next page. So if your players have prepared rumors about themselves, now is a good time to distribute the rumor around the table. So the first thing is, I've kind of sort of a little bit changed the way that it begins. Kyra, as written, is an agent of the Oracle. She is here because she's heard from the Oracle okay, so there's a prophecy. There is a prophecy that there will be a group of chosen heroes that can extend the Oath of Peace. I kind of want to find if that prophecy is ever written out. Prophecy domain, let's see. The Prophecy. Heroes of the Prophecy. The Oracle's Prophecy, 39. Pits a small band of mortals against the last of the Titans. Promises an epic conflict, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to find where it actually describes the prophecy. The oracles at the beginning of the story, heroes are chosen by the Oracle to front the ancient Titans, end the conflict once and for all. Fulfill the prophecy. Fulfill the prophecy. What is the prophecy? Here we go. With the imminent end of the Oath of Peace, the Oracle has prophesied the doom of Thylea, the death of the gods, the destruction of the sacred tree, and the total annihilation of all mortal races. Players in this campaign will take on the role of a group of heroes who have been summoned to the Temple of the Oracle in an attempt to avert this catastrophe. So the way that I'm doing this is, in the prophecy, it describes a group of heroes that will avert the doom of Thylea. But it describes them in very vague terms. And I don't feel the need to describe to the players what those terms are. It's not super important. What is important is that Kyra, the agent of the Oracle in this circumstance, has essentially been scouring the world for people who match the descriptions in the prophecy. And she keeps putting these groups together in the hopes that one of them will rise up to the challenge. And the challenge here is slaying a great boar. So if we look at... Okay, so we skipped ahead a little bit. A terrifying giant boar has been laying waste to the heartland, slaughtering everything in its path. This boar was corrupted by the Titans and sent to punish the mortals of Thylea for their continued faith in the five gods. Many have attempted to hunt the boar. All have failed. If you wish to win fame and fortune, and if you want the help of the Oracle, then you must prove to the people of Thylea that you are warriors of the Oracle's prophecy. Hunt this boar and offer it to the gods as a sacrifice. Yeah, it's very Gorthok. If the players weren't level 1, I would actually run Gorthok, but not going to do that because that would be a little excessive. He's like CR6 or something. And they're level 1. That's kind of a problem. So Kyra is hoping against hope, because she's done this several times, that these heroes that she has summoned are the heroes of the prophecy. And if and when the players are able to kill the boar, then they will have proven themselves heroes of prophecy. So that's essentially where we're starting. Let's figure out what the fuck we're doing to actually run this. So I have seen people start this on Roll20 in an actual tavern. I think that is super extra and totally unnecessary. Doing a Theater of the Mind seems to work much better. That'd be very insert username here of you. I don't know what you're getting at. Sorry. There's a delay, so I don't know which sentence you're actually talking about. Wow, we have 7 whole viewers. That's cool. So the Sour Vintage is a traditional country inn located at a crossroads about 20 miles east of the city of Astoria. So at this... Okay, so we've got our splash screen. We also have a map of the Heartlands. And I even have a big red pin here for you are here. Killing your level 1 PCs. I got it. I got it. Got it. Okay. So, Sour Vintage, about, it says 20 miles east of Astoria. Is this thing really that small? There's no way this map, like, this is actually 20 miles. Does it have a scale? Holy crap. It's like a, wow, okay. Alright, it's about 20 miles east of Astoria. Okay, so this map's tiny. Yeah, wow, that is, yowza. This whole thing's tiny as hell. This is not much of a continent. Let's go to the, like, there's a map of, there we go, map of the world. It's a bigger map. So we got Astoria. Same scale. So this continent's only like 100 miles across. That's insane. Wowza. And then in the book it actually says that it takes 3 days to get between any pair of islands. But like, this thing is way too tiny. Did a Roll20 module come with the book? No, it did not. One of my players was gracious enough to buy the Roll20 module for me. I greatly appreciate that. And the reason I greatly appreciate that is that okay, so the big thing is that, you know, it has dynamic lighting already built in, so it's got all these walls and whatnot. That's fucking neato. But in addition to that, these maps in the book, so I'm actually gonna go to the Temple of the Oracle, pull up the map. So if you take a look at this map, this map is not identical to the one on Roll20, and the reason for that is that whoever drew these maps did not use a consistent 1-inch scale, and it is absolutely, positively, ridiculously useful that someone did rearrange all the maps for the correct scale. Apparently they spent hundreds of hours cutting the maps apart and putting them back together just so that they would work on the Roll20 grid. Thank you so much to that guy who did those maps, and thank you very much to Jesse for buying me the book, or the Roll20 module. So one of the things, I watched a review of the Roll20 module, and one of the things they complained about is that since this isn't an official D&D module, they can't use the art from the monster manual for any of these, for commoner, or actually I think it's literally just commoner. They can't, or I think Steam Mephit. Yeah, they can't use the art for Steam Mephit. But since they're SRD, they can call them out in the text. They can call out a flying sword. They can call out a mimic. They can call out a rug of smothering, but they can't use the art for them. So like over here, we got a mimic, flying sword. I don't know where the rug of smothering is. I think that's downstairs in a different map. So like, you can't use that. The other complaint that they had was that there's a bunch of braziers here, and the braziers aren't giving off light, which is stupid. So I will have to put tokens in for braziers. What I like to do is, a lot of people like to put hang on. Yeah. A lot of people like to put like actual torch tokens on the map, and I think that's super extra. Like the brazier already exists on the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an image that is 1 pixel by 1 pixel, fill with transparency. Got it. Let's zoom way in. You can see this is a pixel. So we're going to export this as pixel, transparent pixel dot ping. And then we're going to upload that. And then I'm going to put that in the square. And it's invisible. You can't see it, but you can click on it. It's a token. And then if I go to advance, it emits light 20 and 20. Save changes. Bam. And then I just put them all over the place. Oh, wait. Can I put them on the dynamic light layer? Is that a thing I can do? Nope, I can't. If I put it on the GM layer, it doesn't go off light. That sucks. Okay. So it has, can I put it on the map layer and it'll still give off light? Because that'd be neato. Cool, I can put it on the map layer. So that's what I want to do. Why is my cursor weird? Oh, right. You can copy paste them to the dynamic. Oh yeah, I need players. All characters can see light. Right. So I have to put it on the token layer to all players. Okay, so it has to be on the. Okay, so let's right click, copy, and then go to dynamic lighting, and then paste. Cool. Okay, so now I have torches on the dynamic light layer. Okay. And they're actually giving off light. Ta-da! Huzzah! I have light. That's really, you don't need to do, like, you don't need specific art for those things. Like, it's fine. What is really interesting is that what's really weird to me is that these pillars are a plus sign instead of just a circle that's slightly smaller than the pillar. So I kind of want to fix that. So I'm on the dynamic light layer. Let's draw a shape. Let's make a circle. It's slightly smaller than the pillar. Whoops. Delete that. Stretch this one down a little. And then I want to delete all of these, and then we're going to manually put circles here instead. So for those of you who watch the Curse of Strahd stream, I did something similar to this, where there were pillars that I needed dynamic light on, and they didn't have any kind of block. They didn't have anything, they didn't have dynamic light on them, so I added it. So I do want to zoom in, but now that I have like these, grab these 4, copy, and then click right in the middle, paste. Right in the middle, paste. Right in the middle, paste. That didn't work. Circles mess it up because they're vectors? How do circles mess it up? Oh yeah, that's really fucky looking. No, that looks fine. Oh yeah, I see. I see. Well, how about I just undo all of that? Nope, can't undo all of it. That's cool. That's neat. Alright, so I'm stuck with this. I guess I'm stuck with fucky circles. That's fine. That's fine. I do see what you're saying though, they are kind of weird. So yeah, so now we have some dynamic light. So if I add a player token, he's on the wrong layer, so right click layer, token layer, objects and tokens, advanced, let's say he emits 30 and 30, all players can see the light, he has sight, save changes. So he's got he can see, okay, it doesn't even look circular. That's interesting. But then if I hit Control L, I can see what he sees. And it's really weird because the pillars are not circular. It's very odd. But that's okay. Like, it looks fine. It definitely looks a lot better than it did when it had a plus instead. Also, I learned from the Curse of Strahd stream that I want to put myself as a controlled by for each of these. So this is Tim's character, but I would also put myself, and I would join as a player, and then I can see anything that every player has seen. So that's something that I'll do tomorrow once I actually have things in here. The other thing that I want to do is I want to turn on Advanced Fog of War. What that does is it allows the players to keep they keep in their memory things that they've seen before. So that's how I handle. That's how I want to handle light sources. So just invisible pixels, and then I just fix these pillars. All right. So that's dynamic lighting. So anyway, let's get back to like actually playing the game. So they're in the Heartlands. They're meeting at the Sour Vintage. I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. I'm going to try and make it a lengthy role play with Kyra, the poet. So I'm going to reread through her personality and her motivations and all of that. The big motivation is that she thinks these might be the heroes of prophecy. She's not sure. She thinks they are. They match the description. If they can prove that, if they can do this task, then she'll believe them well enough to say, okay, let's go see the Oracle and you know, see what's next. Orsino might think that that's a little silly. The Oracle thought he was the one, so he sent him out here to the others, and what? We'll just chalk that up to the Oracle as weird, and she really just wanted to see him. She really just wanted to watch him flex. But also, the main explanation is the group is the prophesied group of chosen heroes. It's not just like, oh, you're a person. Let's test you. You're a person. Let's test you. They have to test the group. So once the group has been tested, then you can see the Oracle. But then we'll find out later that the Oracle requires of them 3 labors. So how far are we expecting to get in our first session? So I'm expecting the Sour Vintage to take about an hour-ish. And then they'll have to go fight the Great Boar, and that'll be probably another hour, and then they'll head to the Oracle's Temple, which was the map that I just had up. So that's, and I'm not entirely sure how far they'll get in the Temple of the Oracle, so I'm going to prep essentially the entirety of Chapter 1. Don't know how long it's going to take. We'll figure it out. So, don't know how long it's going to take to run it, that is. We'll see when we get to the table. So Kyra offers the heroes a reward, a golden arrow per hero, and she will give them the reward once the Oracle is satisfied that they're the group of heroes from their vision. So, dark-haired woman calls you over to a table in the corner. She wears a white traveling dress with practical leather boots, and she carries a large satchel that appears to contain dozens of scrolls along with plentiful writing supplies. Greetings, I am Kyra. Thank you for answering my summons. I will be direct. I'm here as an agent of the Oracle. She believes that great destinies await you all, collectively, but great destinies are forged by great deeds. A terrifying giant boar has been laying waste to the Heartland, slaughtering everything in its path. This boar was corrupted by the Titans and sent to punish the mortals of Thylea for their continued faith in the 5 gods. Many have attempted to hunt the boar, all have failed. If you wish to win fame and fortune as great heroes should, you must prove to the people of Thylea that you are the warriors of the Oracle's prophecy. Hunt this boar and offer it to the gods as a sacrifice. I did read that out a little earlier, but that's fine. She explains that the Titans set on Lutheria have always hated the mortals of Thylea. For 500 years, their hatred has been shackled by the Oath of Peace. Now the power of the Oath has waned, and this ancient beast is one of many signs that they are plotting war upon Mitros once again. She offers them assistance by having hired 2 hunters who can track down the corrupted boar. So the hunters are just there to get them to where the boar is. Heroes can spend the rest of the night drinking and speaking to the locals. It's a good opportunity for them to learn about each other, as well as hear of any recent events and rumors. Kyra is willing to answer any questions they may have about Thylea. The heroes may also purchase basic supplies from Atala, the innkeeper. And this is a good time to distribute rumor cards to the players, which I will do if and when they, which I will do if they actually get their. Okay, 3 people have sent me messages on Discord, so that's good. So if they give me the rumors, I will distribute them at this time, completely at random. And then once they're done, they will head off. So these hunters are recovering from. Okay, so the innkeeper. Oh, so this is people in the inn. Yeah, they did not make that clear. So the innkeeper knows the Heartlands better than most, and she has all the rumors from Astoria. She recognizes at least one of the heroes, and she suggests that they hunt the boar. Atala made her fortune hunting a similar beast decades ago. So there's an injured hunting party. They set a trap for the beast by laying 20 pounds of rotten fruit in the middle of a field and hiding in the surrounding hedges. The boar took them by surprise. It gored one of their friends with a tusk and dragged him into the woods. They tried to follow, but the sounds were too terrible, and so they came here to drink to the memory of their dead friend. This establishes to the players that the boar is intelligent. It literally sounds like a clever girl moment. Like they're standing, watching, waiting, and then clever girl. And then they get gored to death. Most of the other patrons in the tavern are farmers who are too frightened to tend their fields. Their families are holed up inside farmhouse basements, or else they've fled to the safety of Astoria until the beast has been killed. So despite, this map looks like it's humongous, I don't know if I agree with the scale, 20 miles. That seems ridiculously low. Astoria and Mitros are a day's march away, and that seems kind of crazy. So essentially these are all farmers that probably support Astoria agriculturally. They flee to Astoria. But if any of the farmers recognize the heroes, they become angry with them. Why aren't they out hunting the boar? What else are heroes good for anyway? So then the question I would ask myself is, which of these heroes are super recognizable? Alaris has spent most of her time in her temple. Until recently, she's been searching for the dragon. Helios is probably not of great repute, because he mostly spends his time in Mitros running a whorehouse. Or not even a whorehouse, just a series of bacchanalia. Yasena, they would probably recognize. Actually, they probably wouldn't recognize her, because Yasena is the least well regarded of the Dragonlords. Orsino, again, not super recognizable. Remir, he does have divine heritage. He's probably recognized. Also, Helios is a druid of the Old Wood, and this entire area is the Old Wood. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but essentially, everything in this area is the Old Wood. And then Scorpius, probably not very well known. I'm not sure what he was doing between him fleeing Mitros and him coming here, but it's probably not a whole lot. So I don't know how many of them are actually well known at this point. Probably just Remir. So hunting the boar. Waiting outside the tower, an hour before dawn, the hunters named Tineus and Javon. Javin. I'm going to go with Javin. The morning is cold and foggy, and the ground is wet with dew. The hunters lead the party away from the tavern and deep into the hills to the north. Okay, there are hills to the north. Party passes many farms and settlements that have been destroyed by the corrupted boar. As you make your way north into the Heartlands, you pass many ravaged farms and settlements, all attacked by the boar. The rocks and trees along the road have been gouged by its tusks, leaving deep, ragged trenches. Carrion crows flock in the fields, picking at the bodies of failed hunters and unfortunate settlers. Failure means the hero spent an entire day in fruitless searching. Isn't that the point of the hunters? Seems like it's the point of the hunters. They don't need to make a survival check. Seems kind of weird. So random plains encounter might be interesting. Not entirely sure. Kyra will not fight in any of the heroes' battles. She will stay away from enemies and make meticulous notes for an epic poem about the struggle. She will, however, do her best to help the heroes by keeping their spirits up. If the heroes appear to be in grave danger, she may sing one of her songs to lend aid. If a hero dies, she'll wait until the danger is past and then use her raised dead scrolls to bring them back to life, invoking the power of Mitros, the goddess, to do so. Eventually, the party stumbles upon a cave in the hills where the boar has dragged its most recent kills. The boar is inside of the cave, messily devouring a couple of unfortunate scouts. From this height, you can see miles of mountainous hills to the west. A thick blanket of fog hangs over the lower land. You can hear a gentle chorus of birds greeting the morning sun. Eventually, you pick up the boar's trail, another path of wanton destruction, split tree trunks and splatters of blood. The trail ends at the shadowy mouth of a cave. Ear-splitting grunts and squeals echo from inside. So, the book does not have a map for this encounter, but the ever-so-helpful people on the Odyssey of the Dragonlord Discord provided this map. So there's a cave. I've got this guy on the the GM overlay layer for now. And I'll move him once they fight it. And I will actually be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. In that time, I'm actually gonna run a quick 1-minute ad. So if you don't mind, if you could turn off your ad block. They told me I should ask that, but it's fine. If you're a subscriber, you won't even see an ad. I have returned. I hope you guys enjoyed the ad. Come back and yeah, I had to go to the bathroom. So I ran an ad real quick. Most of you probably didn't even see the ad because you're subscribers. So yeah, there's a lot of subscriber icons in chat. So yeah, cast invisibility. Kyra and the two hunters waiting. Okay, I already did the left half. Setting traps. Players may choose to set a variety of traps for the boar. Each trap requires a successful survival check to assemble. Failing check causes someone to stumble and make a loud noise, at which the boar becomes alerted to the party's presence. So the players are aware of the boar, but the boar isn't aware of the players yet. So they might just think. Well, you know, let's go murder the boar, right? Yeah, I feel like, you know, smart players would be like, okay, well, let's sneak in. Unless they don't think that they can sneak, which is very possible. They might not. They might think that they're not capable of sneaking. So, not sure. So the other thing that I would like to do is I set up, and I think I kind of showed it off last time. I set up this this game board for 20 squares. So we've got pieces for each of the players. I'm just going to move these back to their starting locations. So each player, if you're familiar with the Royal Game of Ur, this is the Royal Game of Ur. I stated to the players that they can wager essentially anything that their character physically owns, but also inspiration, cheerspiration, nat 20s, spell slots, and hit dice. And via this game, you can actually stack your inspiration. Yeah, great boar. So I think they might actually want to go like into the cave and murder the boar, which is going to be really annoying because this map clearly doesn't cover that. So I guess I'll just figure it out at the table if they do decide to do that, or they start sneaking in and it's sneaking out, and we just do this if they decide to skip the traps. You hear a bestial grunt from inside the cave. A massive boar suddenly charges from the cave mouth, goring one of the hunters on its tusks. Tossing the body away like a rag doll, the creature draws itself up to its full height. It's an ancient white boar with fierce red eyes and bloody yellow tusks. So I don't think that this token is white. Not really. Not really white. But you can see that it's got arrows and ropes on it from hunters that failed to kill it. It is bleeding, causing it to suffer low exhaustion at the end of each of its turns. And it says that it will try to attack each hero at least once, because CR3 creatures a little bit much. Whoops, a little bit much for a party of level 1s. So it's going to split its attacks. It's not going to focus fire. That makes it way easier for the players to defeat it. You probably can't read this. It's probably way too small. So let's see if I can make Roll20 just bigger. Let's shrink this. There we go. Roll20, 200%. Can I get this in 2 columns? Barely. Okay. It's only got 52 hit points, which is pretty low. What the? Okay. Let's clear that. I did not want to do that. Let's bring that back up. Okay. Okay, it's down here now. Whatever. So it's got 52 hit points, 14 AC. So with an entire party just wailing on it, it's going to take 2 rounds. And then it does 2d6 plus 5 bludgeoning damage, which is liable to knock a character out in 1 hit. And then it also has confusion as an action. Just AoE confusion as an action. And then, oh my god, it has a charge. So if you hit someone with this charge attack, that's 5d6 damage. And that's pretty much what it's going to do to the hunter. It's just going to hit him, murder him, he's dead. See you, Andy. So that's pretty straightforward. You just run the boar like a boar. It's a boar. Go kill things. So that's him. It's really easy. And then the boar fight still reduces 0 hit points. At this point, it can be captured with a net and bound with ropes. Once captured, the boar locks eyes with the heroes and speaks its dying words directly into their minds. Everyone hears its booming voice inside their heads. Know this, mortals. Your sins cannot be atoned. An ancient power sleeps in the heart of Thylea, and when it awakens, the age of Mitros will come to an end. Just as my broken body falls to ruin and decay, so too all mortal things will come to death and darkness. No prophecy will save you. Yeah, so he just gives them a big old warning and then, kind of just dies. Boar's cave is only 50 feet deep, full of stinking water, gore, and boar dung. If they decide to wade into the disgusting mess in the cave and explore, there is some treasure to be found. The 2 shredded corpses in the cave have 25 gold, 37 silver. Yeah, since you don't expect anyone to go in the cave, let's just say it only goes 50 feet. One of them carried a silver spear. That's cool. It's customary to bury or burn the dead. Each body should have 2 gold pieces placed on its eyes, the expected payment for the ferryman. Once everyone has drawn breath and tended their wounds, Kyra reminds everyone that the dying boar should be offered as a sacrifice to the gods. Yeah. Oh, I missed a message. The boar should have a really high-pitched voice. That'd be kind of funny. Helium is an incredibly valuable resource, and we shouldn't be wasting it for balloons. This is the way of things in Thylea, and will be a great offense to both the gods and the people of Mitros that the beast does not die as a proper offering. So much so that the heroes are transformed into goats for a day. Yikes. Whichever god receives the sacrifice will grow in power as a result. So I think Thylea is the best. Everyone gets a Charm of Vitality, which, if I recall correctly, allows you to use a Potion of Vitality on yourself as an action. Yep. And that cures exhaustion. Any exhaustion you're suffering, cures any disease or poison. And for the next 24 hours, you regain maximum number of hit points from any hit dice you spend. But that's every player. But there are things like Blessing of Protection for one of the players. A Valus grants a Scarab of Protection upon meeting them. Scarab of Protection, which is a magic item, right? It's a legendary magic item. Advantage on saves against spells, and then 12. Jesus, that's insane. Yeah. So yeah, all of these are really big. Vulcan grants the heroes one random magic item. Cool. All heroes gain the Charm of Heroism. Charm of Heroism. You can give yourself a potion of heroism once as an action. 10 temp HP, and bless for an hour. Yeah, like these are all really cool. The weather's beautiful for a week. Sucks. Hands of Kentamane will aid the heroes in battle one. That's pretty neat. Hands of Kentamane are CR 8. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, boar slaying heroes are now celebrated as the Oracle's chosen ones. People of Thylea will expect them to travel to the Temple of the Oracle and discover what great destiny awaits them. They already kind of know what great destiny... Well, the players know what great destinies await them, but maybe their characters don't. They've been promised all of these things. Kyra promised them these things. She researched these people, and she promised them that the Oracle, if they are the heroes of the Oracle, the Oracle's chosen ones, then the Oracle will help them with these things. And they've all presumably said, yeah, okay. So we're going to put this in Odyssey notes. We're going to call this 2020-07. What the hell is tomorrow's date? Tomorrow's date is the 4th. Right, 04. 2020-07-04. So that's notes for tomorrow. Yes, Session 1, Odyssey of the Dragonlords, tomorrow, 4 p.m. EST. Join us there at twitch.tv/GildedTroll. Sorry, switch.tv/TheGildedTroll. Should be clear on that. Where you're watching this right now. Duh. Because I don't upload these to YouTube until after the session that we played. So, they sacrifice the boar, and then it is assumed that they head to the Temple of the Oracle. Temple of the Oracle is the fabled home of Versi, an ancient naiad, a water nymph with the gift of prophecy. She's recently instituted a dire warning to the people of Mitros. The doom of Thylea is nigh, and only the great heroes from her vision can rescue the land from total destruction. Though others failed, you slew the corrupted boar that plagued the lands west of Mitros. Your names... east of Mitros. Nice typo. Your names are everywhere celebrated as the heroes of the Heartlands. Now you have come to the Temple of the Oracle to claim your reward. Kyra has promised that you will learn more of your destiny from the water nymph Versi, the legendary oracle who brokered the Oath of Peace. She is the daughter of Sidon, the Lord of Storms, but she has always been an ally to the mortals of Thylea. But Kyra has heard nothing from her in 2 weeks, and now she fears that something may have happened to the oracle. So here's a map of outside the temple, but it's literally just like combined with the inside of the temple on Roll20, so that's neat. Current situation, she's been trapped in a cave below the temple for 2 weeks. After learning of Versi's most recent prophecy, the Lord of Storms decided to punish his daughter for her insubordination. He sent a sea hag named Helica to bring Versi back to his tower in the Forgotten Sea. Like all hags, Helica is utterly evil. She is taking immense pleasure in tormenting the Naiad, but Sidon has forbidden her from physically harming Versi. Meanwhile, Gaius, the commander of the Order of Sidon, has learned that the heroes have come to meet with the Oracle. He has personally ordered a detachment of soldiers to kill the heroes before they can even have a chance to become famous enough to challenge the powers that rule Thylea. The soldiers are led by a priest named Breka, and they have been ordered to kill the heroes on sight. So we've got Breka. I remember seeing that Proteus, whose name is misspelled on this token. That's cool. The token says Proitus. Oh, no. Oh, okay, it does say Proteus. Zoomed out, it looked really bad. But yeah, it doesn't help that the 3's on top of it. So let me hide the GM info. Yeah, it does say Proteus. Alright, so Proteus is the actual priest of this temple, and he's their prisoner, as are these commoners. But then Breka and these soldiers are bad guys, as well as these steam aphids. So, Boiling Geysers. Temple of the Oracle is located in a cleft in the earth many leagues from the nearest settlement. As you descend into the chasm, the forest disappears, replaced by steep walls of craggy rock. So here's my problem. If the Oracle hasn't been heard from in 2 weeks, it kind of ruins the Orsino and Helios were sent directly from the temple to Kyra. So I kind of want to say that Orsino and Helios, or Orsino specifically, was sent like, oh yeah, you know, just go out into the world, like go make a life, and you know, you'll make your way back. I know you will. So, and then Helios, you know, he can. Yeah, I guess that I probably should have thought about that prior. I guess I can talk to Tim and Steph prior. Temple of the Oracle, blah, blah, blah. As you descend into the chasm, the forest disappears, replaced by steep walls of craggy rock. Warm vapors rise from cracks and vents along the floor of the chasm, filling the air with an eerie mist. You feel yourselves sweating from the heat and exertion. While crossing through the chasm, stumble across guys of boiling steam. Each time they move in the rocky area of this chasm, DC 14 dex save. On failure, they're blasted by scalding steam. So, my question is, does it expect them to be level 2 at this point? I know there's a table of what level it expects them to be at each part of the story. Here we go. The first Great Labor, 2nd level. My rain and such just got over there. Yeah, I think it actually stopped raining.
Over here. Yeah.
It stopped a little while ago, which is why I still have power. Yay! I am going to sit down. My ankles kind of hurt from standing this whole time. I'm going to sit down again. I did it. Okay, so, sitting down. So the first Great Labor, it says Ideal Fame 2, Ideal Level 2. So you should be... So by the end of Chapter 1, you're Level 2. So I guess it's expecting the players to be Level 1 for this whole temple. I do know that this is not based on milestone leveling. It does assume XP leveling, and a CR3 creature only gives 700 XP. Do I buy the 6 of them? That's just over 100. So yeah, that would not level them to 2. So I guess they're doing this whole chapter at level 1. So I told my players level 1 is usually 1 session. That might not be true. They might not get through the Temple of the Oracle in 1 session. In which case they, they'll be a level 1 for more than a session. Okay, so Temple Portico, Break is posted to 4 soldiers here. Soldiers have been told to expect a band of dangerous warriors, and their nerves are somewhat on edge. So here's the thing that bothers me. It says 4 soldiers on the portico, and then it also says 4 soldiers in the along with Breaka. They will not immediately ban their post, but they are easy to intimidate. They'll eventually flee into the temple unless the heroes corner them, or otherwise goad them into a fight. Like they're literally 15 feet away from another group of enemies. Summons could be really painful in this encounter. They very well could be. I'm expecting this to just like flood from one encounter into the next, which could be very dangerous. Like, are you expected to fight the Mephits and then the soldiers and then more soldiers without a rest? Like, that's crazy. At level 1, like, yikes. They're soldier, right? Yeah, they're soldier. Let's see. Only +3 to hit, so they're decently bad at hitting. Wait, so this says they have 11 hit points. It says they have 11 in Roll20 and 17 AC. Why is it so low? And I think Steam Mephit's HP is wrong too. Steam Mephit? No, they do actually have 21 HP. So yeah, I don't really understand. Do Steam Mephits explode when they die? Oh my god. Yeah, this is insane already. I feel like they should be level 2 for like this whole area. Like, kill the Great Boar, hit level 2. But then, still be level 2 after the temple. Like, this temple is essentially these 3 fights. The Flying Sword and the Mimic. and then what's down here? 6, 7, 8. 6. Okay, that's the mimic door. 7, Rug of Smothering, cool. And then 8 is a water weird and a sea hag. Doesn't actually tell me what her stats are. Okay, sea hag named Helica. I think I want them to be level 2 for this, just because this is way too much for level 1. Like this feels like the kind of stuff that you would expect in the basement of Death House. What are we talking about? We're talking about oh, I see. We're talking about whether or not the player should be level 2 for the Temple of the Oracle in Odyssey of the Dragonlords, and I think they should. So level them up to level 2 as soon as they kill the Great Boar, even though it only gives them like 1/3 of the XP they need to get to level 2. And then if they spend way too long at level 2, then, you know, whatever. Not the end of the world. Yeah, this encounter threatens, like, it's 3 encounters, one after another. Like, these guys can see them fighting steam mephits. So, like, they should probably... Mephits will attempt to lure heroes across the boiling geysers. Where are the geysers? Accidentally stumble across geysers of boiling steam. Each time heroes move in the rocky area of this chasm. Is that this area? I think that's what it's saying, because, like, if it was, like, all over here, too, like, it's like, oh, each time you move, make a dex save versus die. No, like, being level 1 just sucks. So we're going to do level 1 Great Boar, and that should be scary, but it's probably not lethal because it's only one enemy. Even if it knocks you down, it's written to go to different players, and, you know, whatever. You get knocked down, another guy gets knocked down, another guy gets knocked down, and then the boar's probably dead. There's no way it's going to... Maybe 5 feet, within 5 feet of the water element on the map. I think that's probably better. It's super unclear. But steam mephits, they have they have claws. They don't have flyby. They also have steam breath. So they would want to try and stay away to use their steam breath, and then retreat back to the other side of the water, and then, you know, players try to make their way across the water, and then they have to make saves against the steam. But, like, these dudes are right here. So I'm going to move these guys inside. And with these pillars here, it's really hard for them to see anything out here. I'm just going to say that that's the case. Like, let's take a... Oh, he doesn't have sight. So let's give this guy sight. And just kind of look at... Yeah, so you can't actually see out because the pillars are in the way. Well, maybe this guy can. Oh, because he doesn't have any light. Okay, let me give him light. So yeah, you can kind of see out, but they're totally willing to just stay inside. Yeah. You get knocked down. I really hope I set this to everyone can see. I need to move it to the token layer so I can actually edit it. Edit. Yes, all players see light. Good. Copy, move to dynamic lighting, paste. Okay. And then I just gotta delete this one. Alright. Yeah, all of these have light that everyone can see. I don't understand why they have 11 hit points instead of the 16 that Soldier is supposed to have. But yeah, like this reeks of this should be level 2. Let's look at Acolyte, because that's what Breaka is, right? Wait, what is Breaka? Yeah, he's an Acolyte. 9 hit points. Okay, so that's actually correct. He does actually have 9 hit points. And he's got some spells. Not good spells, but he's got some spells. Elder Attendant, loudly and forcefully pleading with Breaka to stop the witch from harming Versi. If questioned, he explains that a sea hag named Helica arrived at the temple 2 weeks ago. She's been wantonly slaughtering his acolytes in order to torment the captive oracle. Okay, there's a bronze beer in the room. Where sacrificial offerings are usually made by the priest. Animal bones are scattered among the ashes. That's this guy, I think. Number 3. That's the beer. Let's see. What is a beer?
Beer.
Yep, that's how it's spelled. Thank you. Stand on which corpse, coffin, or casket. Okay, so yeah, it's this thing. This is where they do sacrifices. Cool. 25 GP. Yeah, it's just beer. 25 GP and 100 silver. Carries a bronze symbol of Sidon, which depicts the wrathful visage of the Lord of Storms. Stairway door leads to the temple basement is locked. Key is in the attendance chambers in here. Door can be smashed. This door. This door here can be smashed. Or they can pick it. I'm guessing they can pick it. So it doesn't say anything about picking the lock, but I'm going to say it's a DC 15 to pick, whatever. We do not have a rogue, right? We have Druid, Monk, Bard, Clear, Artificer. Yeah, we don't have a rogue. But I think Artificer gets Thieves' Tools. At least proficiency. Yep. Artificer gets Thieves' Tools, so the Artificer can pick the lock, assuming they actually buy Thieves' Tools. So the door is locked, but it can be picked or broken. But the module assumes that they're going to go into the chambers, and then there's flying swords that attack them. All the rooms are sparse and tidy. Helica enchanted 4 flying swords and left them hanging on the wall next to the key to the locked stairway door. Swords remain motionless until the key is touched, at which point they come alive and attack. Proteus's room, which I don't think it specifies which one, has a small, yeah, it doesn't even have a chest on the map, but I'm going to say this back corner room has the 6 potions of healing. So the potions of healing are going to be like super valuable, but like it's way too late at this point. Like, I don't know. And then there's the mimic door. Looks like a strong oak door with Sidon's face carved into it, and then, you know, mimic things. Liquid blue light shimmers and refracts across the slick walls of this rocky grotto. The room is lit by torches and filled with the vaporous mist of steaming hot springs. So I'm going to grab a torch. So we're going to go to the dynamic lighting layer. We're going to select this, and we're going to go to the next map, just so we can throw some torches down. So we got lit torches. So there's a torch here. 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 Torch here. Torch here. And torch here. So that makes some interesting light. And then there's also a very large bonfire. And we'll put a light here as well. Oh, and there's a torch here. So basically this whole fucking thing is lit up. And then there's also torches in here. So we got a bunch of torches. So if they head down this direction, they'll see light. So I'm actually curious what that looks like. So we're going to drop a token here. And he does not have... Oops, he's in the wrong layer. We're going to put him on a token layer. Move the token layer. And then we're going to give him sight, but we're not going to give him any light. And we're going to take a look at what he can see. So he's over here. He can't see anything. And he moves over here, and he can see this. He can see that light. So that's kind of neat. So let's give him a tiny bit of... we're going to give him 10 and 10. So we can like sort of see where we're going. And we're going to move him around. Okay, so he can see this, but then he can also see that at the end there. That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. And then he can no longer see any of this because of line of sight, but it's still lit up. So yeah, this is pretty neat. Dynamic lighting is pretty neat. So the rugged smothering is on the GM layer, so that it doesn't like fuck me. Yeah. So one thing that I'll need to do is figure out like what each player's vision is and all of that. Dark vision works pretty shittily. Okay, so dark vision works fine. All you gotta do is so if a player is carrying a torch, that works great. You put emits light, all players see it. Cool. Is this map working with Advanced Fog of War? No, this map does not have Advanced Fog of War enabled. I will enable that right now. Boop, boop. All right, now it has Advanced Fog of War. So if I give this guy sight, he can see. So we'll switch to seeing as him. So he can see all of this. You know, he can still see it. And then if I move over here, he can no longer see it, but oh, you know what? Here, let's do controlled by me, and then we'll do give him 10 and 10 like I did the other guy, and then okay. So over here you can see that he has memory. And then if I move over here, you can see it only counts squares that your light has illuminated, and not squares that other. Well, that's silly. Okay, so one thing I'm going to have to do. Alright, so we're learning. Oh, they start with the tools too. Equipment. You get thieves tools. Cool. Alright, good to know. So we're going to move to the token layer. I'm pretty sure I moved to one of these already. So what I need to do is I need to put controlled by all players before I move it to the dynamic lighting layer. So now, so let's delete this guy. Put Orsino again. Say he's controlled by me, and then what can he see? So now he can see all of this because that torch is revealing it. I think. Here, let's. There's a way to reset dynamic advanced fog of war. Let's hit reset fog. Yeah. Okay. So now he can see nothing because he doesn't have sight. Give him sight. Okay, now he can see all of those things because the light reveals them. He still can't see stuff over here because he didn't reveal it. That's interesting. It's very interesting. So let's add a transparent pixel here. So we got a transparent pixel. It gives off 30 and 30 light. All players can see the light. It does not have sight, but it's controlled by all players. Now technically anyone could move this token until I copy it and I move it to the dynamic lighting layer. So now I put it on the dynamic lighting layer, and I'll delete this guy. So now there's a torch right here on the dynamic lighting layer. If I put Remir here and give him sight, and I look through his eyes, he can see everything here. Now in theory, once he's around the corner, he should still be able to see this stuff, but he can't. Maybe giving them, maybe assigning it to all players doesn't work. Maybe I have to assign it to each player. So it's controlled by each player. And then copy it, paste it. Whoops, didn't want to paste it here. Copy it, go to dynamic lighting, paste it. Go to tokens, delete this one. Yasena has sight. Can see this whole room. It can't, wait, this one's not giving off light anymore. Oh, I don't think I set, layer token layer. I don't think I set, yeah, I didn't actually give it light. That would help. All players see light. Okay, so we're gonna move this guy all the way up here. Dynamic lighting, put it here. Objects and tokens, delete this. Alright, Yasena. So she can see this, she can see this corner now. And then she's no longer in line of sight, and she can't see it anymore. So the only thing you remember with Advanced Fog of War are things that you actually revealed with your own light. Like that token's light. Oh no, oh. No, that's the problem. I'm seeing things as if I were that token with Control L. And what I want to see is things that a player can see. So let's drop Remir in here. In the token layer. And give him... So I'm going to assign him to me, and I'm going to give him sight. So this is just me learning how Roll20's dynamic lighting works. So this is him as... Ouch. I have to actually switch the screen. That's fine. Chris doesn't have any sight, so he'll just see blank. I don't know why Chris is in here. Okay, so I can see this because this is my token. So I can move him. But I still can't see any of this. There's a torch that belongs to me because it belongs to everybody. But then if I give this token light, 30 and 30, then he reveals his own stuff as he moves around. And this remains revealed because he revealed it with his light. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Chris is snooping, but he can't see anything. This map will just appear black to him. Also, I think he's been logged into this. He's been logged into this game since session 0. I don't know why. But yeah, he doesn't have a token with sight on the map, so he can't see anything. Not a problem. So anyway, light's dumb. We'll see if we can find a way to work around that in the future. But so ruckus smothering at 7. Spends her days on the rock in the center of the cave, inhaling vapors of the hot spring and listening to her dreams for new prophecies. Her visions have always come true, and she is therefore greatly favored and admired by the people of Thylea. This cave and the resting chamber beyond it should be considered her lair. Why should it be considered her lair? Let's see what she can do as a naiad. Naiad. Lair actions. Do you have lair actions? Do you have lair actions? Let's look up Versi in here. Oh, in here. Versi. Pending sea monsters. Or, no. Important NPCs. Here we go. Versi the Oracle. GM notes. Empty. Okay, cool. Let's go to her character sheet. She has a robe of stars. Oh, there's a special stat block for her. She's not just Naiad. Or not. I do remember her having a robe of stars. I just don't know where from. It's odd. So the ruckus smothering will attack anyone. Yep. I don't understand why it's considered a lair. Ruckus smothering will attack anyone who tries to move deeper into the cave. So if they move down this way or over here or even through the water. How deep is the water? Probably not very, I would guess. There's also a walkway across. Not a big deal. Helga is in the Oracle's resting chamber where she's torturing one of the temple attendants in order to torment the Oracle herself. So the entrance of this chamber, a beautiful woman in gold raiment is stretched out above the underground river, held captive by tendrils of animated water. In the chamber behind her, a hideous blue-skinned woman cackles. Kind of have that backwards, like they have these tokens backwards. So it says Helika's back here, and Versi's like right at the entrance. Kind of makes it difficult to get into the room. She would kill the hag if she could, but she's been restrained in a resting chamber by a water weird. Okay, so I actually like the idea of Helika being here, because it's literally just going to be players versus Helika, and that's fine. Let's look up Sea Hag. Do you have Sea Hag in here? Actually, can I click on Helika and get a character sheet? No, I cannot. SRD sheets, Sea Hag. There we go. Character sheet. CR2, not much of a boss. Yeah. Well, I mean, she's a friendly NPC, so you don't get her robe of stars. You're supposed to keep her alive. But Versi does have a robe of stars, but she can't do anything because she's restrained by the water weird. Helica carries a pearl with 100 GP. That's good for Identify. She has a note that reads, Helica, I bid you now make good upon the oath of service that you once swore me. You know the secret ways to the Forgotten Sea, to the cave where my daughter dwells. Find her and bring her to Praxis unharmed, and I will release you from your oath. In addition to what can be found on Helica, many gifts that the Oracle has received over the year are found here. A bunch of black pearls, 3 emerald gems, 6 fine brooches. Taking any of the gifts marks the thieves as cursed by the gods. Ooh. So there are curses in this module. So that one would probably be the Curse of the... I would just say Curse of the Grave Robber. Curse is visited upon someone who takes any magical item from the grave of a hero blessed by the gods, who's afflicted by the curse. Cannot eat. After a number of days equal to your con score, the character will gain 1 level of exhaustion every day until they die from starvation. So, Greater Resto, or find someone who will take this possession of the stolen magical item. Yeah, so I'll just give him Curse of the Grave Robber. It's not a perfect match, but it's close enough. Yeah, don't steal her shit. Once the Oracle's been rescued, she thanks them and introduces herself. Centuries ago, she foresaw the coming of great warriors who would save Thylea in her hour of need. Let the Warforged pick up the magic. Yeah, the Warforged is immune to Curse of the Grave Robber, huh? Cool. I'm noticing that I'm getting a bit of a sore throat, so I'm gonna talk a little bit less, so I don't want to lose my voice before tomorrow. Three great tasks. So those are the the great labors. Drink deep from the bottomless dragon horn. I've seen the end of all things. My father's anger cannot be quelled. Fireworks. She will speak to each hero, revealing specific information about each of their epic paths. So see running the epic paths section for details. She'll treat the Vanished One differently than the other heroes. She'll ask to speak to this hero privately in her cave, where she will remind them that they must return to her when the great labors have been completed. So, yeah, she actually demands an oath that they'll return when they're done. Rescue the Oracle from the clutches of the hags. Men of their place as subjects of prophecy. Now it seems the party must perform 3 mighty tasks in order to prepare themselves for a confrontation with the Titans, Sidon, and Thylea. So by killing the Great Boar, they proved that they are the chosen heroes, and then they meet her, they get the rest of the prophecy, and now they have to undergo the great labors to prepare themselves for their confrontation. Party has extensive knowledge of Thylea's geography and culture. These tests may truly be impossible. Kyra is more likely to prod them into action. She's eager for an exciting story. So 1, claim the weapons of the Dragonlords. 2, light the fires of the Mithril Forge. And 3, drink from the horn of Balmithria. Grant visions of those who drink from it. Stowed in the reliquary in the city of Astoria. As far as anyone knows, it's still there. What about 3 C's? Three Seas face the Titans. So the Cerulean Gulf, the Forgotten Sea, and the legendary Nether Sea. Even if the heroes refuse to undertake the task, the people of Mitros believe that the prophecy must be fulfilled, and gods will conspire to move the quest forward. Everyone in the party encounters will know them as the chosen ones. Neat. Should choose one of the 3 labors before leaving. Volunteers to serve as a guide and traveling companion. She won't take no for an answer. She recommends traveling to Astoria first, as the Horn of Balmetria should be there. On display at the Dragon Shrine. She also gives the heroes the golden arrows that she promised as a reward. Before the party leaves the temple, Proteus intercepts the heroes and thanks them for saving Versi. He doesn't think the great labors are doable, but he believes that Thylea desperately needs heroes, so he gives them each a potion of healing. I guess unless they found them in his room. The future of Thylea may be bleak, but there's always hope. people of this land will look to your actions as a sign of things to come. Seek neither fame nor fortune, but show them the true meaning of heroism. Make yourselves a beacon of light as we enter this time of darkness, and go with the blessing of this temple. After Proteus has departed, Kyra offers the heroes another take on the tasks ahead. Listen, forget that. This is your chance to win fame beyond your wildest dreams. You want fame, right? Of course you do. All great heroes want fame. I think I just got her voice. Like, you want, I think her voice is, like, Vapid Valley Girl. Like, oh my god, like, you definitely need to do this. Like, this is gonna make such a great story. Yeah, that's the voice. That's her voice. That's Kyra. That won't get annoying at all. Introduce the concept of fame. Each time they complete a quest or perform a great deed, they earn fame. They get perks as they get fame. Cool. She signals that she'll be following the heroes and watching over them with the intention of composing an epic poem about their exploits. We don't have an epic poet bard, so that's fine. I mean, they might want to be an epic poet bard, so that's Yasena. Yasena. I'm going to have a hard time with that. Yasena. When the quest is done, they'll each read their poem aloud at the Theater of the Gods in Mitros to see which version of the story gets the most applause. Kyra offers one last suggestion before the party continues onward. There's one tiny problem. The tricky thing about fame is if you're not careful, one hero might outshine all the others. Then all the stories will be about that one hero and how strong and valiant they are, and the rest of you will be yesterday's news. So I encourage you to swear an oath of fellowship. This is a sacred oath that will bind you together in the spirit of solidarity. When one of you wins fame, all of you will share it. Who knows? Perhaps the magic of the oath will even protect you against some of the dangers that lie ahead. Each read aloud the following. I'm going to try and get all my players to say this simultaneously on stream, and it's going to go terribly. They toast with a round of wine. You may choose to reenact this ritual at the table for extra dramatic effect. I really, 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 really wish we could actually be at a table with players and everybody drink wine together. But so that's chapter 1. We're definitely not going to get through all of this in one session, but I would rather be prepared. Because I don't know where they're going to stop. With Death House, it was pretty simple. I knew that I knew that I would end the session as they were getting, as they found the secret entrance to the basement, regardless of whether or not, or even then, like I could just wing it from there. So I wasn't concerned, even if they got further than I had planned. But I definitely know they won't get further than this. So the only thing I really need to know. The only thing I really need to prep is, number 1, what does the Oracle tell them each? But I don't think that's actually necessary at this time. So running the epic paths, meeting the Oracle. She expects great things from the demigod. She encourages them to travel to Astoria and meet their father, Pythor. Vanished One. She asks them to swear an oath they'll return to her. Once the oath is sworn, she'll reveal that the Vanished One's famed armor, along with the crown of Dragonlords, are located in the tomb of Xander at the necropolis of Telemach. She refuses to offer this unless the oath is sworn. Cool. Versa uses her divination magic to watch over the Vanished One. Doomed One. So this is something that will only come up if they fight Goatlings, Jackaloy, Lamia, Maenad, and all hostile undead. So if we find those, it should be obvious to the Doomed One that those creatures are singling them out. But when you meet the Oracle says that her corrupted sister Demetria knows more about the fate that has been laid upon the Doomed One. Versa explains that Demetria can be found in the Mossy Temple. Which is actually something that Steph knows about because she's a druid of the old Steph, meaning Helios, meaning the Doomed One. Because she's a druid of the Old Wood, and the Mossy Temple's in the Old Wood. Cool. Haunted One. We don't have a Haunted One. Do we? Doom Curse Gift? No, we don't have a Haunted One. Gifted One. She reveals the Gifted One's conflicted ancestry, explaining the Sidon murder. Okay, so I do have a few changes to 2 of the epic paths. So the Gifted One. So it's the cursed one and the Gifted One. So the Gifted One, the difference is that there's all this stuff about their sorceress grandmother. That is actually the person who sculpted the statue that is Yasena. So Versi gives the Gifted One a locket that once belonged to the Gifted One's creator. But first they must exact vengeance upon Sidon. And then the Cursed One, it's supposed to be that their curse has existed in their family forever and ever and ever and ever. But instead, he started with, he got this curse during his life. So the main change is that when he gets to Typhon Island and he hops in, the old man is not the cursed one's ancestor, and the curse was his fault. I haven't figured out all the details yet, but essentially when he gets there, he would learn that Narcissus is one of the 5 gods, and that he's the 6th of the 5 gods, and that that he's the source of the curse, and that he needs to sacrifice a great beast to Narcissus to free himself from the curse. And no one really knows about Narcissus. He is held captive by the Queen of Eresia, and not even Eresians know about him. Or at least that's how I'm running it. So this, if Sidon and Thylea are both killed, the curse is lifted. I'm getting rid of that because he wasn't. So the reason Damon, the Lich, is important is because Damon knows that Narcissus exists. Damon was he was part of the Dragonlords, but he wasn't a Dragonlord. He was like their guy behind the computer. He was their wizard. So when they meet the Oracle, she'll tell him he must speak with Damon, the ancient Lich who guards the necropolis of Telemach, to learn more about the nature of the curse. And then the Dragon Slayer, meeting the Oracle, tells the Dragon Slayer they're destined to become the bane of evil dragons. Seek out the Forge Keeper and the Mithril Mines to learn more about the artifacts they need. So we don't have a lost one, covered the gifted one, don't have a haunted one. Yeah, that's it. That's all of them. So that's what they learn at the Oracle. And then the only thing I need is Dramatis Persona, Kyra. Alright, so let's learn about her personality. I'm told that thousands of songs have been written about me, and bards everywhere pay homage at my shrines. They even call me the Muse. But if that's the case, then why does no one ever seem to want to read my poetry? So rude. As one of the 5 gods, Kyra is revered as the trickster of music and poetry. I think I was supposed to say trickster god. There are very few shrines to her, but bards and poets call upon her for inspiration as the Muse. She's the swiftest of all gods, both in thought and deed. She's capable of disappearing in the blink of an eye. She can travel great distances with mere steps. Her mind is equally swift. Her voice is said to be more beautiful than any instrument. Oh my god. Definitely more beautiful than any instrument. Kyra regularly travels through the Heartlands in the guise of an adventurous bard. She carries dozens of scroll cases with her, most of which contain terrible poems of her own composition. She can write good ones, but she prefers the bad ones because she's so amused by people's reactions to them. No matter how harsh the critique, she never holds grudges against critics. She serves as the court poet to Queen Amitros, her sister Valis. She finds Kyra annoying, and she finds any excuse to send her away on errands. She wishes above all else to write an epic poem, something that would make even the Mother Goddess herself laugh and weep. She's attracted to heroes who perform great deeds, as well as those who are fated to meet terrible ends. She's flirty, witty, clever, and attractive, but for reasons that she never makes clear, she will never consent to marry anyone who cannot beat her in a foot race, which is really hard because she has 55 feet speed. So she came to Thylea as a young bronze dragon, who I have named Archiriania. She served as a mount for the infamous Estor Archelander, who's a genocidal asshole. She cannot transform back into a dragon form until the Oath of Peace ends. Okay, role-playing Kyra, here we go. Seeks to atone for the sins of Estor Archelander, but doing it as much good as possible. She's full of optimistic energy, and she refuses to stand by when even the slightest injustices go uncorrected and unpunished. Oh my god, are you going to do something about that? Guys, like, you're heroes. You can't just let that happen. Like, what are people going to think if you just, like, let that happen? She detests sitting still, and her eagerness for a good story makes her a bit reckless. She'll goad mortals into dangerous acts of heroism, hoping for dramatic material that she can use. She's careful to study prophecies. She doesn't make unreasonable demands. She's been carefully studying the prophecy about the doom of Thylea and assembling these groups. She loves to play tricks, large and small. Consequently, few people worship her. Nearly everyone believes in her. She's often credited when things go missing or when objects suddenly reappear without explanation. I swear to God, I keep seeing something over in my chat. Like, it looks like it's like someone's like a message popped up, but nothing. No one's talking. When objects suddenly reappear. She's especially fond of playing pranks on humorless tyrants and petty bullies, such as King Acastus. So in Chapter 1, you can sacrifice the boar. If you sacrifice to Kyra, she confesses her identity and swears an oath of protection. So what is the oath of protection? Where's oaths? Sacred oaths. Oath of protection. Powerful individuals sworn to come to the aid of another in a time of great need. One of the most famous of these oaths is the oath that the Achaean king swore to Menelaus, husband of Hel. Oh, this is like actual mythology. King swore to assist Menelaus if anyone ever threatened Helen. When Menelaus called upon the kings to fulfill their oaths, the Trojan War was the result. An oath of protection requires the swearer to answer a call for aid as quickly as possible. Once the threat has been neutralized, the oath is fulfilled and there is no further obligation. Failure to answer the call, or even allowing the other party to come to harm, will cause the oath giver to be branded an oathbreaker, and they too suffer the curse of the treacherous. So that's kind of a big deal because she is a god. By god, I mean she's like CR 12. But still, like she's got. Oh god, what? She's unable to resist the urge. Cause mischief. Each round of battle is 1 in 4 chance to submit to this impulse and random effect will occur. Oh Jesus. Allies are never targeted with the effects of lightning, bolt, fireball, or petrification. So there's a 25% chance every round of combat that she just wand of wonders. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a macro. Kyra. So /roll. Okay, so first I need a rollable table. Jesus. Wand of Wonder. Alright, so we're going to add... slow. Weight 5, because there's 5 different results. Add item. Fairy Fire. Weight 5. Wand of Wonder. No players cannot roll from it. So /roll. I forget the syntax. 1T Wand of Wonder. /roll 1d4. Roll 20 macro conditional based on dice. Can I make a macro with an if condition? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make something so that if you roll a 4, then it rolls Wand of Wonder. Rollable table. Woof. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay, so here's what I can do. So on the Wand of Wonder table, so we're going to put all of our things in. Stunned. Weight 5. Add gust of wind. Weight 5. Are these all 5? No, they're not all 5. Okay. Detect thoughts. Weight 5. Stinking cloud. Weight 5. Heavy rain. Weight 3. Oh Jesus. Animal appears in the occupied space. Okay, so Rhino, weight 1, because I'm just gonna assume this is 4. Rhino. Oh no. Oh, okay. Rhino, weight 1. Elephant, weight 1. Summon rat, weight 2. We're gonna change this to summon elephant. Summon rhinoceros, weight 1. Okay, so we're up to 37 now. So I'm just gonna take 1 off a lightning bolt. That's fine. Lightning bolt, weight 9. No, I'll just do 101. That's fine. We'll do weight 10. Cloud of butterflies. Weight 3. Enlarge, reduce, weight 4. Darkness, weight 5. So this table is actually going to be called Kyra. Darkness weight 5. Grass grows weight 4. Object ethereal. That is weight 3. So this is enlarge reduce again. So another 4 for the same. So we're just gonna wait. Yeah. Okay. So 8 for enlarge reduce. Because this targets yourself, but it said that fireball weight 10. Invisibility was not already on the list. Nope. Okay. Invisibility weight 5. Leaves grow. First is enlarged. Oh. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out. First is enlarged. The second is reduced. Cool. I just saw enlarge reduce, and I'm skimming real fast. So leaves grow with a weight of 3. So enlarge, weight 4. And then we'll add reduce, weight 4. 1d4 times 10 gems. Pop out with a weight of 3. Shimmering, blinding light, DC 15 con, weight 5. Blue skin, 1d10 days, weight 2. And petrify, weight 3. Alright, so now that I have all of these in, I'm also going to add nothing happens, weight 300. So now, if I go in here, I do R1T Kyra. There we go. Oh. Nothing happens. Leaves grow. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Heavy rain. Fireball. So every time I do it, there's a 75% chance that nothing happens, and then percent chance based on Wand of Wonder. And I can look up Wand of Wonder, but it's just useful. Like every time it gets to her turn, I can just hit Kyra. And bam, that's what happens on her turn. No table found with that name. Oh, right. 1T Kyra. So, there we go. Show as token action. Visible to me. What does that do? Now, if I go to... So there is a Kyra token here. What is a token action? I don't know what token actions are. I'm not going to bother with that. I know that I can just click Kyra. Bam. Nothing happens. But for now, I don't want to use the macro quick bar, so we'll just clear the log. And there we go. We're prepped. I think I'm like done. So I know what her motivations are. I know about who she is. We've got the whole first chapter prepared. We know what the Oracle is going to tell them if they manage to get that far. I've been working with the players almost non-stop. So we had our session 0 2 weeks ago, and then the very next day I spent 7 hours on a variety of Zoom calls with the players, discussing their individual characters one by one. I gave each player like an hour and a half. So I think we're ready for tomorrow. We've got the map set up. We've got I'll set up the tokens tomorrow. And you may have noticed that I have finished character art in these here tokens. You know, the only art you guys got on Discord so far was the teasers. I guess you'll just have to watch us tomorrow to see the full tokens. So thank you everybody who's been here. Thanks to everybody who already left, honestly. Like, thank you guys for watching DM Prep. I hope you guys learned a little bit, and I hope you guys enjoy the session, which is scheduled for tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. So I'll see you guys there. Nicely done, Jay Millie. Nicely done. So yeah, Odyssey of the Dragonlords, Saturdays, 4 p.m. EST. But thanks for being here. See you tomorrow. Bye.